This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Hundreds of mourners, including the Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow, gathered at the National Assembly in Banjul on Monday to pay their last respects to the late Honorable Abdullah Bojang, the former Speaker of the National Assembly. On Monday, the Medical Research Council unit in the Gambia at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine hosted the third annual summit of their Epiverse-TRACE project. And on Saturday, Gambian author Abibatu Jara launched her latest book, More Than a Princess, part of the African Kids series. In international news, on Sunday, the 1st of December 2024, Senegal marked the 80th anniversary of a dark chapter in its history, the Thiaroye massacre of December 1st, 1944. In sports news, the under-13 of the Gambia In sports news, the under-13 tennis tournament reached an exciting climax on Sunday evening with the finals of both the doubles and single at the Independence Stadium tennis court. These and other stories coming ahead. Do stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, hundreds of mourners, including Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow, gathered at the National Assembly in Banjul on Monday to pay their last respects to the late Honorable Abdullah Bojang, former Speaker of the National Assembly. Aliou Cisse was there and he now reports.
At this dignified and solemn occasion, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow, relatives, friends, senior government officials, past and current National Assembly members gathered to pay tribute and last respects to the late former Speaker Abdullah Bojang. Bojang, a veteran politician and retired teacher, had served as Speaker of the National Assembly from 2010 to 2017. Following the change of government in 2017, he was appointed the Gambia's ambassador to South Africa, further extending his service to the nation. During the tribute, many, including current Speaker Fabakary Tombong Jatta, Majority Leader Bilaji Tunkara, Minority Leader Alaji S. Dabo, current Deputy Speaker Sidi S.K. Njai, who had served as nominated National Assembly member under Speaker Bojang, and Honorable Samba Jallow, respectively, remember the late Speaker as a peaceful man. They described his demise as a great loss to the country.
So the institution would dearly miss him. He's known for his respect. He's known for his humility. He's known for his kindness to humanity. So therefore, I think Parliament at large, as a former Speaker of this very institution, and of course under him, this old assembly was appropriated and built under his watch. So basically, we pray to God Almighty, the Omnipotent, in his infinite mercy, to grant him Jannatul Firdaus and forgive his shortcoming.
I remember the former Speaker as an easygoing, humble, down-to-earth, who exhibited humility par excellence. Every member of the National Assembly and staff who worked with him knew him to be a man who is full of wisdom, who is dedicated to serving humanity, who is humble, and who at no point in time would cause trouble for any member or a staff. And in fact, he is known to be wallahi, wallahi, sallahu, sallahu. When you come, however magnitude the problem and the confusion is, he'll say, wallahi, sabari, sabari. Everybody knows him about it.
A friend, Babukar Sanyang, former managing director of Gampel Gamcel, and Sirifo Sanyang, a cousin, said Bojang was a dedicated Muslim and an inspiration for the family, who will spend anything he had to make the family happy.
Late Abdullah was a true friend. My memories about him would date back as early as our teenagers. And he has always been involved in the maintenance of peace. He has always been involved in helping, giving a helping hand. And he loved to be with family. He would spend most of his time visiting family members and enjoying with friends.
The Gambia's Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow said the late Speaker Abdullah Bojang has served the country with honor and pride. On behalf of President Barrow, he extends condolences to the family of the late former Speaker. The VP said Speaker Bojang presided over parliamentary sessions with wisdom and fairness. Leadership is not measured by titles, but the lives you change, said VP Jallow. Following the ceremony, Honorable Bojang's body was transported for burial in his home village of Fonyi-Sangajor. The Parliament and the country will remember him for his service to the nation. May Allah grant him Jannah. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. On Monday, the Medical Research Council unit in the Gambia at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine hosted the third annual summit of their Epiverse-TRACE project to discuss the implementation of its Phase 2. Mam Nabuka has the report.
The Epiverse-TRACE project is a global initiative focused on enhancing the understanding and management of infectious diseases through the use of genomic and epidemiological data, dedicated to preventing the next public health crisis. Every year, the Epiverse-TRACE team, along with stakeholders from WHO, Data.org, and various healthcare organizations, convene to discuss progress, evaluate deliverables, and plan future activities. This summit provides an opportunity to discuss the implementation of Phase 2 of the Epiverse-TRACE project and gather reviews to strengthen the proposal for the roadmap. Boubacar Ba is the head of data science at the Medical Research Council unit in the Gambia.
So mainly Phase 1 was actually about building the tools. We built software tools that would help people analyze data, epidemic data, in order to support decision making. Do we have to do a lockdown? Or if we try a vaccine, we intervene with a vaccine, how effective is that intervention, things like that. So the tools help support government decisions, right? Phase 2 mostly now is about how do we adapt this tool, how do we make people use these tools now, especially in Africa.
At its core, the project is centered in digital development principles. It aims to create digital public goods, infrastructure, and the necessary capacity to effectively develop and deploy open-source software solutions in regions most affected by health inequities. The goal is to eliminate the fragmentation that allowed epidemics like COVID-19 to spread and instead build a sustainable, inclusive analytics ecosystem for enhanced epidemic preparedness. Oyi Stewart is the Chief Data and Technology Officer of Data.org, one of the primary supporters of the project that has made substantial progress towards producing analytics tools.
The key takeaway is that we are working together in an ecosystem. And the way we work is interdisciplinary. What that means is that there's room for everybody, the computer scientists, the social scientists, and those in the medical field, and everywhere coming together within that ecosystem.
Following the launch of the project, hubs will be established in Banjul, Dakar, and Nairobi. These hubs will facilitate the dissemination of the tools developed during Phase 1 across different regions. Senegal will support the diffusion efforts in Francophone West Africa, Kenya will focus on East Africa, and the Gambia through the MRCG will be responsible for distributing the tools and providing technical support for their use in Anglophone West Africa. Here is Dr. Ahmadullah Samate, the Gambia's Minister of Health.
I understand that Epiverse analytics tools aim to empower staff of ministries of health to do the analysis themselves. This aligns well with the Gambia government's plan to digitalize the activities of the health sector. I commend this and the engagements the MRC Gambia Epiverse-TRACE team is having with staff of the ministry, especially the internships they are running for our staff.
The summit is scheduled to last for a week, after which decisions will be made on the next steps. The goal is that when the next epidemic strikes, people across Africa will be sufficiently trained to gather their own data, analyze it, and provide informed advice to governments, reducing dependence on international organizations. The proponents of the Epiverse-TRACE project believe that this initiative and its community will extend far beyond its current scope, ultimately serving as a blueprint for global social impact. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, on Saturday, Gambian author Abiba Tujara launched her latest book, More Than a Princess, part of the African Kids series. The book challenges gender stereotypes, inspires children to pursue their dreams, and promotes environmental awareness. Loli M. Kamara covered the event and filed this report.
In a vibrant ceremony filled with children, the launch drew an audience of family members, friends and literature enthusiasts who gathered to celebrate Jara's work. During her opening remarks, Juka Jaba, an educator and poet, reminded the young attendees of the transformative power of books and the importance of learning. Philip Nyasi, the representative from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, reaffirmed government's commitment to advancing children's rights and creating an environment that nurtures their growth and empowerment.
In our commitment to creating a future of equality and opportunity for all, let's recognize the value of such books like Modern Princess have the power to inspire change, provoke thoughts and open minds to new possibilities.
Jara's More Than a Princess is a groundbreaking addition to children's literature in the Gambia and across Africa. The book empowers young girls to break free from traditional stereotypes while also emphasizing the role of boys in advocating for equality and sustainability. Ngenar Yasin Jeng, a human rights lawyer, offered a compelling review of the book, praising its ability to inspire, educate, and challenge societal norms. Hassoum Cisse, the Director General of the National Center for Arts and Culture, delivered the launch statement and expressed his excitement to be part of the occasion.
Personally, I feel honored to do this launch statement, at least for two reasons. One, your father here seated is my good senior. Since I first met him at Forobe College, University of Sierra Leone, in October 1994. He always, keeps me in connection with people whom he believes deserve the historical mention in this country. I promised him that I will do a biography of his father, Master Jara. But whilst that is in the working, I will once again congratulate you, Abibatu, for a job well done.
Abdullah T.B. Jara, Abibatu's father, praised his daughter's achievement and shared how she drew inspiration from her personal experience and the desire to empower young readers.
Abibatu might also have learned or gained this skill or inherited these skills through my own mother, who, though unlettered, is a historian par excellence, an intelligent woman in terms of narrating and giving you historical perspective of issues.
Mamset Njai, Abibatu's uncle, and her namesake both extended congratulatory messages, praying for Abibatu to accomplish her mission with God's guidance. Abibatu Jara, the author of the book, delivered a heartfelt vote of thanks.
In More Than a Princess, readers are encouraged to move away from the traditional notion of a princess, which entails wearing pink dresses and waiting for a happily ever after, to taking actions to improve themselves and their community.
Attendees expressed their admiration for Jara's efforts, highlighting the importance of stories that reflect African values and inspire positive change. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
The report there by Lolly M. Kamara takes us to a commercial break. When we return, we have more local, international and sports news stories for you. Do stay with us.
fii mooy fan fii mooy Inessa di place bi nga xam ne moom la ñëpp taaw place bii bépp xeetu ataaya bu baax rek bu dugg see ci dëkk bi xamal li fii rek la am bara wërga bii neex na lool saf na ba pare tamit nag am gu bu neex boo ko naanee rek da ngay kontaan ci saa añ ba suur ba gëreesal li nga lekk jëndal bara ataaya bii ndax moom la ñëpp taaw gis nga sama client bii ataaya bu neex bu ne moom laa koy njëkk a jox ndax moom kat ataaya bu neex rek lay wër bara wërga bii mooy wërga bi gën te moo gën a saf kon nag ràññee leen ko bu baax kon daw leen gaaw ca Banjul foofu ca Inessa di place bi nga xam ni foofu rek nga ko mën a amee wholesale wala retail mu ngi foofu ci boori court house bi foofu ca Banjul wala nga daw ci bépp marché bépp supermarket bépp boutique fépp foo dugg rek di nga mën a am baara warga bii nga xam ne moom la ñëpp di wër tey baara warga moo dàq ci warga yi man maa ngi ci moom ndax su ma maree ataaya moom rek lay naan.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV Nightly News. Now, Omar Cisse, president of the General Transport Union of the Gambia, was elected unopposed to continue leading the union's affairs during an elective congress held on Saturday. Pakaba Suso attended and he now reports.
This marks the first elective congress of the General Transport Union of the Gambia after years of internal divisions and strife. However, the union has recently taken steps to put its house in order and unite all stakeholders under one umbrella. The event brought together government officials, including the Minister of Trade, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Transport, Special Presidential Advisor, National Assembly member, and the President of the Senegalese Transport Union, among other stakeholders from the transport sector. Omar Job, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, explained the elective process.
I would rate it 100% success. Despite to get 100% in Congress is always not easy. But if you look at how the whole process has went, from the starting, from the screening, from the voting, all were intact. We give every aspirant candidate an opportunity to appeal or to defend himself. We have series of meetings. It's an open dialogue whereby every aspirant candidate was given a chance to defend himself.
Kebasar, Treasurer of the Union, presented the union's financial report for the years 2020 to 2023.
So basically what we read earlier on was around an income of 16 million plus that was returned back to the drivers almost and a certain balance of money, that is the cash we have in the banks.
Here is Omar Cisse, the newly elected of the union.
It's a great day for me as far as my career is concerned. Context as a candidate, go for a no oppose. So that means people like our efforts, people appreciate our service we have been doing for them. That's a very great honor as far as I'm concerned. It's a very important day in my career. For one of the founding father of the organization and attend his first Congress, it's a very good, important day for me.
Mr. Cisse outlined his plans for the union and highlighted the importance of collaboration with the Ministry of Trade.
Particularly, I want to focus on passenger transportation. I understand the drivers are facing a series of constraints, but at the same time, commuters and the residents of the countries. So I feel we need to have a regulation in place, what is supposed to govern the transport sector. You know, government is working on toppling the national transport regulations, but at the same time, within interval, we are working on our own operational guidelines, what we would propose, we present before the government, so that we can approve it and try to regulate within ourselves and our siders. We have a very important guideline kind of trade facilitation and integration within the sub-regions. Because we feel without no integration, without no trade. So that's why we are partnership in terms of, ECOWAS trade areas, AFCFTA, ECOWAS Convention, and SIGMAT. What can we do to have free trade areas?
The Gambia Transport Union presented certificates for outstanding performance in driving, garage management, road transport, and general appreciation to its members and partners. The General Transport Union is specifically established to oversee and regulate the transport affairs of the Gambia, support drivers and vehicle owners, and enhance transportation both within the country and beyond. For QTV News, Pakaba Suso.
The report there takes us to news beyond our borders. On Sunday, the 1st of December 2024, Senegal marked the 80th anniversary of a dark chapter in its history, the Thiaroye massacre of December 1st, 1944. This solemn commemoration, led by President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, brought together leaders from across Africa and representatives from across the globe to honor the fallen Senegalese shooters. This report by Ade Drame is narrated by Mam Nabuka.
The day began at the Thiaroye Cemetery, where President Faye, accompanied by African leaders including Gambian President Adama Barrow and Mauritanian President Ahmed Ould Ghazouani, President Umaro Sissoko Embalo of Guinea-Bissau, and President Azali Assoumani of the Comoros, laid flower garlands in tribute to the victims. France was represented by an envoy of President Emmanuel Macron, underscoring the international significance of this tragedy. The ceremony continued at the Memorial for Senegalese and Malagasy Shooters, where an exhibition titled Thiaroye 44, A Wounded Memory, which was curated by Professor Mamadou Kone, poignantly recounted the events of that fateful day. In his address to the gathering, President Diomaye Faye said, "Today, we honor the courage of those who paid the ultimate price for justice. Thiaroye's story is Senegal's story, and it is a story the world must remember." Later, at Camp Lieutenant Amadou Lindo Fall, speeches called for reflection and renewal. President Faye announced the construction of a memorial in Thiaroye and the establishment of a documentation and research center. He emphasized that the massacre's history will be integrated in Senegal's education system and etched in the names of streets and squares across the nation. President Faye went on to say, "This memorial will not only stand as a symbol of remembrance, but as a foundation for our commitment to never forget." The Thiaroye massacre was a massacre of Senegalese soldiers committed by the French army on the morning of 1st December near Dakar, Senegal. Those killed were members of the Thiaroye Senegalese and were veterans of the 1940 Battle of France, who had been recently liberated from prison camps in Europe. After being repatriated to Senegal, they mutinied against poor conditions and unpaid wages at the Thiaroye military camp. Although the death toll is still disputed, between 35 and 300 people were killed. The ceremony, steeped in solemnity, was a powerful reminder of the resilience of the Senegalese people and a step towards healing the scars of Thiaroye. The Thiaroye massacre remains a pivotal moment in Senegalese history, and today's commemorations reaffirm the nation's pledge to preserve the memory of those who fell, ensuring their sacrifices are never forgotten. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
And that report by Mam Nabuka takes us to sports news. Now, the Under-13 tennis tournament reached an exciting climax on Sunday evening with the finals of both the doubles and singles at the Independence Stadium tennis court. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga was there and he now reports.
Under a relaxed and encouraging atmosphere, young Under-13 tennis players prepared for their finals at the Independence Stadium tennis court on Sunday evening, with excited parents cheering them on. The day began with the customary pre-match rituals, including handshakes between the players and the umpire. In the doubles finals, the pair of Fatoumata Ba and Mario Gomez faced off against Seydina Omar Sow and Mamadou Ba in an intense and competitive match. The early stages were closely contested, with both teams evenly matched. However, in the second set, Mamadou Ba and Seydina Omar Sow showcased exceptional skill and performance to claim the victory. Seydina Omar Sow shared his joy and excitement after the win.
It feels very exciting. It's my first day to win finals.
Okay.
I'm very happy.
You're very happy?
Yes.
And who are you going to dedicate this victory to? Maybe your mother, your sister, or somebody?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel playing tennis?
Very nice. It's a very exciting sport. I like it very much.
The singles finals followed, where Mamadou Ba, one of the standout players from the month-long tennis academy training, played against Sirif Bob. Despite Mamadou's early dominance, Sirif Bob held his own, matching him point for point. But as the match progressed, Mamadou's energy and agility proved too much for Bob, and he ultimately triumphed, taking the singles title. Daniel Ebul Thomas, the founder and organizer of the competition, emphasized the importance of early development in tennis and how such events help cultivate future talents.
Oh, I'm very excited, definitely. You can see from the talents of these boys. As you said, the training was only a month, and it was August 5th to August 29th. And within that time, we only played for 4 weeks, and each week had 4 days. So in actual fact, we trained them for only 16 days. And then the next 3 months was the product of what you are seeing.
The exciting final was witnessed by enthusiastic parents such as Dauda Kamara, Biram Gomez, and Pauline Sen, who praised the competition and applauded Mr. Ebul Thomas for providing their children with an opportunity to showcase their skills.
The game is not popular to us, we don't know it. But from now, we begin to understand that this is a reality.
lii moom great achievement la te thanks to Thomas William mi nga xam ne moom moo recruit suñ doom yi motivate leen.
We just want to say a very big thank you to the entire team, especially to Mr. Thomas.
All participants, whether winners or runners-up, were honored with medals and cash prizes, which were presented to their parents as a form of encouragement. Tennis is not yet a widely popular or competitive sport in the Gambia, but the training and events like this could be the stepping stones to producing the country's next tennis stars. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
The report by Mamadou Gajaga brings us to the end of this news bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another news bulletin. Thank you for watching.